Welcome to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick. Brought to you by Advanced Rehab, H&H Lifestyles, St. Simon Seafood, Urgent Med 1, Golf Cart Wholesale, Parker's, Jessup Furniture Outlet, Yates Astro, and by Locos. Now here is your host, the voice of the Frederica Academy Knights, John Wetzler.
Welcome to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show. I'm sorry I'm late. We are here again.
Sound like they're excited.
Yeah.
You showed up late, and now we're all excited.
Yes.
You have to do that more often.
That's all it takes.
Yeah, you have to do that more often.
Golly. Been trying too hard. But we are back, thankfully, for a playoff game for another week. And here at the Locos Grill and Pub, who has been our gracious sponsor throughout the regular season. And Lord willing, we will continue to be here for another, 4 weeks?
Yeah, I hope so. 4 weeks.
On the Bishop Media Sports Network, I'm John Wetzler, on location at Locos Grill and Pub. And this segment of the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show is brought to you by Locos Grill and Pub, by Urgent Med 1, Advanced Rehab, St. Simon Seafood, H&H Lifestyles, Golf Cart Wholesale, Parker's, Jessup Furniture, and Yates Astro. And now joining us on the Head Coach Brandon Derrick Show is Head Coach Brandon Derrick.
I'm glad I made it.
Yeah.
I would have hated to miss my own coach's show.
Yeah. Well, Coach, I guess last week it wasn't a big surprise that Monsignor Donovan was going to be challenged to be able to compete. We could certainly sympathize with what they had to deal with. They had virtually no reinforcements. It wasn't as if they were a diminutive team. They had some very large people out there.
Yeah.
Number 29, for example, who punted and kicked off and played running back and linebacker. He was about the biggest boy out there.
Yeah.
On the football field.
He's a big kid. He's athletic. Their program is, as I put it in the newspaper, we're going a little bit in a different direction than what we are right now. I thought the coaches and the kids did a great job going out. The game plan during the week was let's get a lot of numbers in, get our kids in. We talked with the starters about going out and taking control of the game early on in the first half or in the first quarter and
first second.
First snap, and the kids did a great job. They went out, they executed like they're supposed to. I've been saying I feel like we've been turning a corner here ever since the Bullock win, and the kids taking care of their business, and they did an outstanding job.
Yeah, Hollis. I think we were talking about it up in the booth. Hollis scored the first touchdown. Then he had 4 sacks in a row, and then I think he scored another touchdown.
Yeah, he made a very big opening statement. Hollis did, and that's we come to expect it out of him because he's a good player, great player for us, does a great job, and he's a good leader on the field, and he's just that's what you come to expect out of him. And a big time player makes big time plays, and that's what he does for us. And it's going to be exciting here down the road. I feel like he's kind of him and the seniors. That group really got the guys tuned in this week, and I'm excited.
Well, we all are excited. So now that the end of the regular season matchups have taken place, who are we playing on Friday?
We have Gatewood, the Gatewood Gators. I think they're 7-3. They're a pretty big football team up front. Got some big linemen. Run the triple option on offense, and going to run a 3-4 or 5-2 on defense. And they're a good football team. They're not going to beat themselves a whole lot. They execute really well, and we're going to have to play a good game.
And where are they coming from?
Is it Eatonton?
Eatonton,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Uncle Remus land.
Yeah. Apparently they were, was it Brer Rabbit or something?
Yeah,
Brer Rabbit. I've been following up there with a little literature or whatever that is to make sure I knew what was going on, where they were from. I won't offend anybody. So Brer Rabbit's neck of the woods, and they're going to have to travel down here 4 hours, which was good. They don't have to be on the bus that long, and then we're at home. We enjoy being at home. We're 6-0 at home, and hope to be 7-0 at home. So we're excited. I think the community's excited. We're just ready to go out and play. I think the kids would have been ready to play yesterday. They were pretty focused. It's a pretty focused group right now.
Well, this is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. It's exciting for all of us. It's exciting for the parents. It's exciting for the students. It's exciting for the players, obviously. I think the fans are really starting to believe that we can compete. I felt like we could compete against Valwood. I felt like we could compete against Pinewood. I felt like we did compete and really played a better game than Bethesda, another top-tier team. But I really feel like after we talked about this last week, something happened in the Valwood game where after that, even though we still sputtered a time or two, we just came out to play on defense and have set the tone. And I don't think there's a team that watches our game film who says, hey, we're going to whoop up on these guys when we're running the football.
Yeah.
Or especially trying to throw the football.
Yeah, defensively, it's been simplified. Coach Burkett does an outstanding job going in there. We watch a lot of film, we study it. He and Coach Cannon, offensive coordinator Jeff, does a good job of getting the offensive side. But defensively, I think the kids have just got comfortable with doing what we do best. Don't overcomplicate it. And I know from what you've seen, our secondary is good enough to go back there and lock people down and let's put people in the box and play defense and let's be physical, hit people in the mouth. What set the tone is our front eight kind of set the tone. Quarterback don't have all day to stand back there and get rid of the ball. If you're going to try to run the ball at us, you're going to have to be really good up front because our front four right now, Ty and Dawson and those guys up front with Brett and Adam Eckert and those guys have just really been blowing it up. Austin and Will Sanders have been rolling in there. We talked about it today. We felt good about our front eight. Those kids rolling in right now that I feel like we're at a level right here that we don't have a drop off when we roll them in, and I feel like they're having a good time up front and hit people in the mouth, and they kind of control it, that what goes on. But the guy that does some of the hard work, gets everybody set up, Cameron McClellan. You can't say enough for Cameron and Dalton. Those two guys at linebacker. Dalton's going to be, we're not going to have him this week. He's out sick. But Cameron's going to be there. Harry's going to step in and have to do it. I thought he played well last week. He's going to be at linebacker this week. Hollis will get a little bit at linebacker. So, I feel like defensively, they've just really done a good job of doing what we coached. Read the keys. I remember when I first came over to Frederick, when I'd say something about read your keys, everybody thought this guy's crazy. Now they really understand what I mean by read the keys, and they're doing a good job.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff kind of is difficult to grasp, but that's why we have to practice so much and do all those things. Eventually, it really becomes habit, and one of the things that I've talked about it throughout the whole season, and it really is extraordinary. And I know that there's a lot of college coaches, roaming the streets of South Georgia on Friday nights, going around trying to troll around to see what kind of talent is going to fit their need. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that Chris Myrick and Jalen Simpson in particular have some of the most instinctive defensive skills that I have ever seen. And I watch pro football all the time and college football all the time, and I'm always watching people panic. The ball's in the air, they're spazzing out, they're kind of getting agitated and sort of out of sorts because they can see that they're watching the receiver's eyes turning around to catch the ball, and they don't know what to do, and so they make contact somehow with the receiver, even if it's minimal contact, and they either catch the ball or it's a pass interference. But those two guys have I don't know if they have walleye vision or what, but they have the ability to keep the man they're defending in their peripheral vision. They got the speed to catch up, and they are going for the football, and I don't think they've had a pass interference call against them, but I've seen all kinds of contact. I'm talking all kinds of contact, and I keep pointing it out every time I see it. See, that is absolutely clean.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going for the football, but the key is you got to be looking at the football.
Right. Those two, it's something that they practice. Coach Matheson didn't really work on the ball drill, ball in the air, eyes get turned around, body position. You don't always pick it off, but make sure you have your hands where you can rake the ball.
Yeah,
they do a really good job of that. Chris and Jalen have done a good job at corner. I'd like it now. The sneakiest guy back there is Patrick.
Oh yeah.
He's a guy that everybody forgets about, but I will tell you that kid gets us lined up. He gets the defensive guy set up. He's sneaky good at free safety. Patrick Brunson is, and so we have a lot of confidence in our kids on defense and on the secondary. And of course, those same kids flip over to the other side and play offense. So it's a little bit of that Iron Man football, and those kids are doing a good job, and we're just excited to have another week to play.
Well, this is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick, and we're going to take a break for a few words from our sponsors.
It's time to get together with friends and family to enjoy great games, great food, and a great atmosphere at Loco's on St. Simon's Island. Loco's has something for everyone with their classic sandwiches, fresh salads, and specialty burgers. And Loco's award-winning wings, from traditional boneless or slow roasted, means it's time to get your wings on. With football season starting, don't forget to catch the game at Loco's too. Be sure to like Loco's on Facebook to keep up with the latest. Have your friends meet you at the Moose. Tired of waiting hours to get in and out of the ER, or can't get in to see your doctor? The wait is over. Urgent Med 1 is a fully functioning urgent care clinic with highly trained professionals, on-site x-ray and labs that will get you in, out, and on with life. Open weekdays 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and weekends 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. or sign in online with ZipPass. Located off exit 36B on Highway 341, look for that MASH Jeep with the big red cross out front, ERGENT Med 1. Drive a few minutes and save a few hours. That back won't stop aching or that knee won't stop throbbing? Your answer is Advanced Rehabilitation and their staff of professionals. Locations in Brunswick and on St. Simon's for your convenience. Go to the place that is trusted by student athletes all over the Golden Isles as well as professional athletes. Advanced Rehabilitation specializes in neuro and orthopedics and will have you back in the game in no time. Find a clinic near you, physicaltherapygeorgia.com. H&H Lifestyles on St. Simon's Island is proud to sponsor this broadcast of the Frederica Academy Knights 2015 football season. From first downs and touchdowns to kickoffs and playoffs, the H&H team will be cheering on the Frederica team. H&H Lifestyles, appliances, bedding, audio, video, electrical, and security. Located in Retreat Plaza on St. Simon's Island. Go Knights! Fresh local seafood on St. Simon's Island. St. Simon's Seafood, located at 2463 Demery Road. In the shops at Demery Plaza next to Loco's, has everything a seafood lover could want. Wild Georgia shrimp, crab cakes, flounder, you name it, and St. Simon's Seafood has it. Seafood so fresh, it was swimming this morning. So stop into St. Simon's Seafood and check them out on Facebook. St. Simon's Seafood, the island's only fresh seafood market.
Welcome back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I'm John Wetzler, on location from Loco's Grill and Pub. This segment is brought to you by none other than Loco's Grill and Pub. It's also brought to you by Urgent Med 1, Advanced Rehab, H&H Lifestyles, and by St. Simon's Seafood. Coach, we were talking briefly just about the competitiveness of our defense. And, you know, I think that at this point, after we've proven our mettle, not only to our opponents and to the critics, to our parents, and to our fans, and to our community, with games like Tift, wins over Tift, wins over Trinity, wins over Robert Toombs, wins over Bullock. I said on the radio, it was kind of like Georgia having a bad season. As long as we beat Bullock, I consider this like championship of the universe after the last year and the way that all that stuff happened, and we did it, you know. And not only did we win, I felt like we dominated the football game. And so at this point, it seems like everybody thinks we got a shot. You know, I mean, we believe, I think, collectively, or at least as a consensus of people that have been watching Frederica Academy football over the last few years, especially everybody who paid attention last year and was, you know, wondering what's going to happen this year, how we're going to respond, how we're going to play with 4 seniors and this front-loaded crew of freshmen and sophomores. And, you know, I feel like it's a reasonable expectation that everybody we go up against, we've already played the best in the league, everybody we go up against, if we execute, we do our job, we got a shot.
Yeah. It's like you said, you have to believe it before it will become reality.
Yeah, it's like asking a girl out.
Yeah, you gotta have some confidence to go ask her.
Yeah.
You know, and then and that's like I told the kids Monday before last. It's time to start believing that we're a championship caliber football team. We're not just going out to win. We're going to start going out to dominate, and we want to go out and take control of the game and it be our game wherever we're at. You know, and so you know it's a different mentality. And with a young team, you got to guide them along, and you got to help them, encourage, and that, you know, as this bunch is mature, week in, week out, I see us, as you say, we can go out and we can compete. You know, I don't want to say it arrogantly, but you know, I think we can compete with anybody. It's time for us to take the next step, start beating everybody, and start to dominate that scope of the game. And I feel like our kids are starting to believe that they can. I mean, they come into practice. This last week, I've seen a whole different side of them than what I saw last week. Was we're going to punch the time clock. We're going to come out here. We're going to get after it. We're going to be good at what we do. If we're not, we're going to redo it. And we're going to get better. But regardless of whether it's starting to get dark or whatnot, the kids have come out this week, and I've seen that. And I talked to my dad. You know, I got a different feel. I hadn't had that feel, but last night, I think when I was a senior in high school, we went and played for the state championship, and we had that, and we practiced like that last night, you know, on our field. And I said, it's been a long time since I've seen and I've had that feel and that air about us in a long time. And I thought last night that group of kids, our kids had that air about them. Like, we're not just getting ready for the next playoff game. We're getting ready for a long next 4 weeks. We're going to prepare to win every game. I hope it carries over. You know, the kids got to believe it, you know, before you make it reality. So I'm excited. They're excited. The coaches have done a great job getting them prepared. You know, we'll do the walkthrough tomorrow and get everything ready to go and fine tune it. And we'll take step number 1 on Friday night.
Well, you are listening to the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Coach, you know, I've been on some championship teams along the way, and most of the time not. And I've been on teams that have been successful where we expected to win and didn't necessarily reach our goal every time. But then I've been on some teams where, you know, there's just this kind of malaise where everybody's just trying to get through the season, you know. And I get the sense that, you know, we're at that point where we're above the pain. You know, we're above the drudgery of. I mean, let's face it. You know, if you like to go play football and go to practice every day, and you really enjoy it, you got to screw loose. I mean, it's it is hard to play football. It is one of the most challenging things I think that you can do. That's why people don't play it much past their mid-20s. Is because it's it's a pretty difficult thing to do, and it has some long-term consequences if you try to. So, but the bottom line is that it seems like psychologically that, and I'm just watching my son and his friends, and I'm watching them kind of grow and sort of change with their attitude. I'm seeing them kind of becoming sort of self-motivated, and I'm seeing them kind of, whereas before you might see a lot of grumbling and people kind of being selfish, I get the sense that they're sort of really kind of gelling together with a single mindset of, hey, if we're going to come out here and put ourselves through all this pain, they're not even thinking about that anymore. They're just thinking about, let's do it right, do it light,
Yeah, that's kind of the motto. If you do it right, you do it light. And, it's like you said, I don't think football players have to screw loose. I think we're just the ones that really want to be there are ultra competitive. They like to compete. They like to go out. I mean, every day.
Well, I mean, nobody wants to put on stinky pads.
Oh yeah, but,
especially like 3 times a day.
That's the competition.
That's masochism right there.
That's the competition part. That's willing yourself through it. But I think these guys that do have that little bit, that bond that you're talking about, they're starting to talk about it. They have confidence in each other. I see them patting each other on the back, picking each other up. And they're going to screw up every now and then. But then I look over and I see one of them going, hey, we can fix that. They're talking to each other, and they're doing a great job with it. And, that we keep growing. We're so young. I've said it over and over again, but we're starting to mature. We're starting to grow into what we're doing. And, hey, when you're winning, you don't like losing. And I see that with the kids right now. They want to continue to win, and they want to be known as something special. I used to tell them you got 48 minutes to play and a lifetime to remember. And I see these guys, some of the seniors, it kind of hit them the last 2 or 3 games. Your clock's ticking, and they're pushing the guys a little tougher and staying on them and leading by example by going hard every time. I'm blessed that we got a group of kids that want to come to work every day, and I think it's starting to be the culture. We're going to come to work, we're going to punch the card, we're going to get better, and we're going to enjoy it. Let's have fun while we do it, and that's the thing. Let's have some fun while we do it. I'm not one of those going to yell and scream and go crazy, once in a blue moon every now and then. But right now, we know what we got to do, we know what we got to fix, we know what we got to have as an intensity level of practice. We know where we have to be every day, practice with intensity for it to carry over to big game. And for me, I'm out there kind of going through the practice script, making sure making sure we're being timely and we're being effective. And the kids have done a really good job here this past week and the last couple of weeks.
Well, I didn't mean to offend all of us who love the game of football and play. What I was trying to get at is, it makes it a lot easier when you got leadership on the team, leadership from the coaches, community support and encouragement, and it makes it a lot easier to go through that fire with the real, genuine, reasonable hope that if everybody does their job, if everybody pays attention, if everybody just executes, if we all think more about everybody else on the team than we think about ourselves, and you start gelling together, and that's what I'm seeing happen. I mean, that's what I'm seeing happening. Guys getting each other's back. There's not a lot of fussing going on. There's not a lot of fussing going on with the other team. Holding each other accountable.
Right.
When somebody screws up, getting over it.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell them. We're going to make mistakes. You know, the thing is don't let it carry over to the next play. Let's just go ahead and play the next play, block it out of your head, log it, but don't let it carry over. Continue to play, make the next play. It's gonna be like life. You're gonna make mistakes, but you gotta learn from it and move on. You can't sit and dwell on it. And so the kids have done a good job with that.
Well, Coach, we got to take our last break here. We will be right back on the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network.
Looking to make your life more fun? Then check out GCW Carts. With top-of-the-line carts like E-Z-Go, Bad Boy, and Cushman, you can cruise the island or just around the neighborhood in style. Need to rent a cart? GCW Rental rents carts for long or short-term use, and they make it easy by delivering your cart to you and picking it up when you're finished. So remember, for brands like E-Z-Go, Bad Boy, and Cushman, visit GCW Carts in Brunswick at the corner of Cypress Mill Road and the Spur, or call 912-434-4601. Great food, snacks, and the best selection of energy drinks in the Golden Isles? Parker's. A day outdoors, coolers, suntan oil, beach chairs, ice? Parker's. Fresh fruit cups, salads, and Dippin' Dots? Parker's. Get your Pump Perks card and start saving on every gallon of gas today at Parker's. www.parkersga.com, a proud supporter of Frederica Athletics. Parker's, and let's go Knights! Looking for top quality furniture at prices that blow away the competition? Jessup Furniture Outlet. Ashley, Universal, Bassett, Lexington, and so many more. Jessup Furniture offers delivery and 12-month interest-free financing, located at 651 Scranton Road next to Old Times, or give Jessup Furniture a call, 912-267-1897. Also, find Jessup Furniture on Facebook. Jessup Furniture, your top quality furniture outlet that won't break your budget. You might not believe this fun football fact from Yates Astro Termite and Pest Control. In 1935, halfback Jay Haynes for the University of Washington scored all the points on both sides of the ball. He ran for 1 touchdown and was hit for a safety. The final score was 6-2. Yates Astro is on offense and defense in ridding your home of termites and protecting you from future invasion. Call Yates Astro. They've been protecting area homes and businesses since 1928.
Welcome back to the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. I am John Wetzler on location at Loco's Grill and Pub. This segment is brought to you by Parker's, Golf Cart Wholesale, Yates Astro, and by Jessup Furniture.
Well, Coach, I'm not trying to say we're looking ahead, because obviously we're not. I mean, I don't want to imply that even with the question, but who's left for us to deal with? I mean, I know we've got our primary objective on Friday. Gatewood, is that correct?
It's Gatewood.
And they're coming out of Eatonton. We were talking about that earlier.
I think, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Uncle Remus country.
Yeah.
And beautiful up there.
I've never been.
I've been to a wedding up there, and I went by the Uncle Remus area where he wrote, I guess, somebody wrote those books.
There you go.
Song of the South and all that good stuff. They have a museum up there, but I digress. So, assuming, or hypothetically at least, we get past Friday, what matchups are going to determine what's going to happen the week after that for us?
I think if we beat Gatewood, we're going to face Deerfield Windsor, okay, out of Albany. Or, what do y'all? Albany, however y'all say it down here. And then I would say
fielder's choice.
Yeah, I would say if we get past Deerfield Windsor, we're probably going to play John Millage Academy in the semifinals. If we play John Millage Academy in the semifinals, we'll be at home again. They'll be a 2 seed, we'll be a 2 seed. We get the home side of the bracket, so that would be really good to be at home playing that game. But we got to take care of our business. But you asked the hypothetical question, I'm going to give you an answer. We kind of made the bracket already, filled it out.
Yeah, I wasn't assuming anything. I know that, you know, for a lot of us that aren't familiar, especially people listening, I'm sure aren't familiar with the dynamics of the division that we're in, the GISA. You know, we have to roam a long way, you know, sometimes to play our classification. You know, I grew up in the Atlanta area, and the furthest we had to drive was like 20 minutes away. So that was kind of nice, but on the other hand, you know, it's kind of nice to take a field trip too.
Yeah,
you know?
Some of ours are half-day field trips, though. So you know, and that, you know, that's part of it. I think that's why we've traveled to where we have, and we've kind of prepared for ourselves. We played 3 really tough teams on the road. I think it's kind of got us prepared for where we are. We're a really good home team, which is really good for us at opening round. But I also feel like we're going to be kind of prepared to go on the road. Probably the Deerfield wins are, you know, if in the second round, if we win this first one like I think we can, and if we do our job and execute, I think we'll be okay. But, you know, we got to take it one step at a time, and this is the first step. We got to take care of Gabe Wood, and I feel like we have a good chance of going out there, executing the offense, don't turn the ball over. Defensively, read your keys on defense, do your responsibilities, tackle well, create some turnovers, put us in a good position, maybe get a short field every now and then and punch it in. I feel like if we can get ahead early, it could be a long night for them. You know, but I also feel like our kids are pretty battle tested. We fell behind a few times and we battled back, and so, you know, for me, for my heart's sake, I like for us to get ahead early and get out front and get the offense clicking wide open and let the defense do what it does. Let it shut the door, and everybody kind of sit back and be like, all right, we're getting ready for the second round, you know. But you know, it's going to be a good game. They're 7-3, we're 7-3. We're going to have a battle on our hands.
This is the Frederica Academy Coaches Show with head coach Brandon Derrick on the Bishop Media Sports Network. Coach, we got 5 minutes left. You know, it's always, I guess, kind of, you never know what's going to happen in the playoffs. I mean, you got 2 teams that we're coming into this with the same record as they are, and really, I mean, if you just think about the Georgia-Florida game, for example, I mean, it's not as if Georgia has less talent than any other team in the country. But you know, they just came out there and acted like they had been zombified or something like that. And so, you know, I think the biggest challenge really is it seems to me, to keep everybody focused, you know, to keep everybody just, you know, doing what you've already been doing all season long. You know, I mean, as much as it's different, and as much as the energy and all those things are tempting to kind of get you kind of in a different mindset, you know, what kind of things do y'all do from a leadership standpoint to just help them continue to remember to put your pants on one leg at a time, do the fundamentals, you know, get your stance right, back flat, fire off, get your head on the right side, do it again, do what you've been doing.
It's funny you asked that. I was asked today, Coach, why are we still doing such and such? Yes, I'm like, repetition. Let's stay to the norm. And I felt like the kids went out and have done that. They've done a really good job. You know, we haven't changed our practice schedule. We stay doing the same things. We do our fundamentals early on. We do our team. We do it in special teams and things like that. I feel like the kids have done a good job. I feel like they're going to go out and execute. I know that it's got a little bit more at stake. There's a little bit more risk in this game, but you know, I feel like, hey, we just got to go out and play. And it's like I told them today, guys, we weren't picked to be here in the first place. You know, we were picked to be 2-8. We weren't picked to be 7-3.
Right.
So we've already shocked everybody, but while we've already got them in shock and awe, we might as well just go ahead and take the grand prize and be done with it. And so that's kind of our belief is while we're here, why not us? You know, why not us? You didn't pick us in the first place, so let's go out there and let it be us. And that's kind of been our mentality, and I feel like the kids, I don't think the kids will get all upset. I think they're more excited about playing than anything. You know, I heard a couple of them even say it yesterday, man, I wish we could play right now. I'd play right now. If we could just play the game, you know. I think they're ready to go. You know, it's kind of like you said. We've been doing this now for about 16 weeks. We've been practicing football for 16 weeks. Since the 1st of August, we've been going in full pads and hitting each other and everybody else. So, you know, we've been doing this for a while, and the kids know it. We're trying to keep everybody keep their legs under them and limit what we do and the quick whistles and things like that. So I'm really excited. I feel like these kids can go out and execute and do a good job. They're not going to change much. They're still our crazy freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors that we've had. I'm sure the lights will be out in the locker room and the speaker box will be cranked up, and they'll be jumping up and down and getting ready to go. So it's an exciting bunch of good kids to be around. I don't know if I'm more excited or they are. So, you know, I'm kind of ready to go play too. Coach Cannon was ready to play last night too. So we've been doing this a while, and I think the kids are focused, and really that's what we got to ask for. Is they be focused and go out and execute, we'll be fine.
Well, you know, it's interesting that we only got a minute or so left, but you said that we're going to be up against kind of like a Georgia Southern, Georgia Tech kind of looking Air Force looking thing, I guess. With
run the triple option.
A lot of misdirection, a lot of people coming up the middle, a lot of things that require us to keep our assignments.
Yeah.
You know, in particular on the defensive end, and just, you know, maintaining our gap coverage and that sort of thing in order to keep from getting discombobulated. And you know, the fact that our defensive secondary is not the kind of option you want to have as an offense playing against us. You know, it seems to me that's really the focal point. You know, I mean, if we control the line of scrimmage on defense, we know we can get on the corner. We know we can score on offense if we do our job, and that's great. But it seems from what you're telling me that there is a particular sense of urgency for our defensive front to keep them from establishing, even if it's just 51% momentum. You know, you're taking that pressure off of them of having to throw, because what we want, sounds like you're saying, is we want them to have a little more pressure, to have to keep digging, going to the well, and taking that risk.
Yeah, we
put the ball up in the air against all of our defensive backs.
Defensively, we want to make a team one-dimensional. So we've talked about let's dominate the run up front and make them try to throw the ball. I don't feel like they can throw on us in the secondary. So we're going to try to make them one-dimensional. The other thing is, if we can get up on them early offensively, option teams don't want to grind it out and use up a lot of the clock. So they have to do something that they're not used to doing. So a lot of that's got to do with the offense. If the offense gets up 14 or 21 points or 10 points or whatever, and we put them behind the 8 ball where they have to try to score quick, it's going to be tough. We're going to try to make them grind it out. I don't think they can. I think our defensive line will do a good job. And, it's like I said, we want to make them one-dimensional. So if they start putting the ball in the air, I really feel like we got a good chance to be taking it to the house the other direction.
Well, Coach, again, it has been a pleasure. Hopefully, we will be back here next Wednesday, Lord willing. But thank you all for coming out. Apparently, I've heard that the Frederica Academy Coaches Show is the most attended of all the coaches shows in the county.
It is.
Yes. Thanks to all of y'all. So thank you for coming. So anyway, we're signing off for this week. Hopefully, we'll see you all next week for even a bigger show here at Locos. For Coach Brandon Derrick and the Bishop Media Sports Network. Come out to Loco's Grill and Pub and join us next Wednesday, hopefully, at 7 o'clock for the Brandon Derrick Coaches Show. Signing off, I'm John Wetzler.